Hey there, Gemini. Welcome to your reading for the week of February 23rd. Love it. You have this visitor card. It says tourist or alien. You're a Gemini, so you are probably definitely an alien. You have the sun card. It says joy and healing on it. So it does seem to be a very joyful week and a very healing week as well. So, it could be one of those weeks where you're just like, kind of rolling around in the sun here, Gemini, or whatever you do, and I think that would be good for you. This visitor could be love. Obviously, you have the King of Wands and the Two of Cups. I'm pretty sure you've been getting a fire sign with me for a long time as far as love is concerned. So, definitely could be, like I said, a fire sign. Or, if it's not, I don't know. Every reading I do for you, it's like a fire sign. If it's not a fire sign, I would say it's either a very fiery connection, which actually comes up here because we have the King and Queen of Wands. These two are definitely very fiery together. So, it can be a very passionate or loving connection. Or it could just be a very bold and confident person that is coming in for you as well. So, again, take it how it resonates, but this looks very, very good. You have in your current general energies, you have the King of Wands, the Two of Cups, and the Queen of Swords. This literally could be a person. The Queen of Swords could literally be you. So I feel that there is, probably love with that Two of Cups. Again, if you don't want love, and even if you do, you have that alien card, that visitor card, and the Two of Cups, usually I say that the Two of Cups represents you and your higher self. It's a card of communication. We have the Staff of Hermes, which is Mercury right here between them, and which represents communication. And I feel that for a lot of you, that this could be communication either from your higher self. Some of you could be communicating with aliens, literally, from outer space. And maybe in your dreams, or I don't know, maybe you're getting abducted here, Gemini. But I also feel that this could be like a guide. I do believe that we have guides on Earth, like people that are meant to guide us. And, that's definitely kind of like the situation that's popping into my head. I'll tell you a story. Years ago, I moved into an apartment, and it was a brand spanking new apartment. So my brother and I moved in there, and nobody was moving in there. It was just us and this lady, right, that moved in. And she is the first person that I actually told that I do tarot on YouTube, right? It wasn't, before that. It wasn't that I was hiding tarot or anything like that. I just wouldn't openly talk about it. So what happened after I started openly talking about it to her? My channel exploded. Literally, my channel had been stuck at 40,000 forever, and I wasn't growing. Just stuck there. I tell her about it, and my channel explodes. I look at her as a real-life guide because, first off, she was weird in a good way. And I mean that in the best way possible. She was just a good, weird person, right? And second, I told her that, and my channel exploded. It's she was clearly a guide. And again, nobody was moving into these apartments. We were the only people there for months, which was pretty awesome. But that's a story for another day. But, again, this right here could be a guide that is literally coming from here on Earth, and I would just, I would pay attention to your interactions and things like that. You have the Queen of Swords. Queen of Swords is about seeing things clearly for the first time. Again, I always look at Queen of Swords as you, Gemini, for whatever reason, but I think you might be seeing things more clearly in life, or you might be seeing your direction in life a little bit more clearly with the Queen of Swords. I also feel like you're getting answers on something. This week there's been a ton of communication stuff this week for some reason, but the other weird thing is that it seems like the type of communication people are receiving this week is answers. Literally, if you're just looking for an answer on how to do something or how to solve a problem or how to overcome something, or even good answers as well. I just feel people really could be getting answers. And that's it. And it might not be an answer. You might be giving an answer to another person, or just communication might be opening up some energy for you. And, it looks good. It's kind of weird that this sun, by the way, not to go on another rant here, but, there is a theory that the sun is actually like a portal, right? And I don't know, I never think about that, but this sun here, it looks like a portal. It also looks like a target on that card as well. And all that is popping into my head. Like, I feel like you are targeting in on something. You have the Queen of Swords. Again, she is very clear. She can see something, that she needs in her life. And I kind of feel that you could be kind of like focusing in on like what you need to aim at or what you need to move towards. With the King of Wands, you have the Four of Wands. Definitely marriage potential here. The funny thing is that I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I feel like you are meeting a person this is the first thing that popped into my head when I grabbed this card, is that you're meeting a person who has gotten to a point where they don't want to get married. It could also be you. But I also think, like, sometimes, I don't know, sometimes I think people get to that point where they're like, screw it, I'm not getting married. And then that's when they meet the love of their life. And I'm not saying people have to get married or anything like that, but I'm just saying, this could be one of those things where it's like either you or this person is resisting. I don't think they'll be resistant to it. I just think that they think they're not going to do it, right? And it's definitely popping into my head, but you could change that or vice versa. With the Two of Cups, you have the Eight of Cups. Yeah, I also feel people are very clear on toxicity this week. We've had a lot of things going on since the moon that we had in Scorpio in the middle of May. It was like on May 12th or whatever, we had that full moon in Scorpio. And I think that full moon in Scorpio pointed out a lot of like toxicities or toxic things in our lives, and I still think people are either processing those things or people are walking away from those things, and I would just keep doing it. With the Queen of Swords, you have the Lovers. The Lovers is you, Gemini, number one. So whenever you come up as yourself, it kind of puts you in a position of power and strength, allows you to get what you want from the reading. Also, it could be a perfect match in love, so love it. Next, in the area of what's coming in for you, you have this don't let the past hold you back. There is like this weird little thing about the past that's been coming up in the readings. I don't know why, but, I would be careful of the past. You have this new moon in Sag. It says luck is on your side. Your opposite sign, Sagittarius. I definitely feel luck is on Gemini's side and Sagittarius' side, but, obviously we're talking about you here. So there could be a change in your luck, or there could be more luck. Notice how it's a bow and arrow pointing towards one thing. I'm telling you right now, the more focused you are, or can be, the better. I also have a weird message popping into my head here as well, Gemini. And it has nothing to do with the reading, but it's just popping into my head intuitively, where I feel that some of you, it's like, if you are thinking about doing something where there is competition, or maybe you feel like too many people are doing it, that's how it's popping into my head. Like, you want to accomplish something or do something, and maybe you're thinking to yourself, oh, too many people do this. I feel like you should go for it. Like, people ask me all the time. They say, I'm going to start a tarot channel, but is it too saturated? And I always say, there will always be someone that rises to the top. Someday, I'm sure soon, that someone will beat me, right? And so, it probably will happen, although I don't know, because I have a lot of YouTube secrets under my belt. But what I would say is that there will always be someone who takes the top place, right? And if something's meant for you, it's meant for you. I think that's what you need to realize here, Gemini. Like, if you're going for something or trying to accomplish something where a lot of people do it, maybe you feel like it's saturated, maybe you feel like there's a lot of competition, I would do it anyway, because I feel like it's meant for you. You have this High Priestess, the Two of Wands, and the Six of Swords. The High Priestess says, trust your intuition. We are in a very intuitive time, and I think that we could be getting a lot of messages as well. So I do think that it is going to be an important time for people to listen to their intuitive messages right now. And I also, with that Alien card and that Two of Cups, again, don't be surprised if you have like weird dreams, or if you have a dream about aliens or something like that, and you literally could be communicating with aliens. So I would be listening to that intuition there, Gemini. You have the Two of Wands. Two of Wands and the Two of Swords. You have the World. You have the Four of Wands. You have the Six of Swords, the Eight of Cups. All cards of leaving a comfort zone or getting out into the world or going and exploring, all those things, right? And so I would do that with the Two of Wands. And, it's definitely, like, not to toot my own horn here. Sorry that I'm talking about myself today, Gemini. But, I'm a Gemini moon. I'm also a 5-degree Pisces. And 5 degrees is Gemini, by the way. And, what I would say is, like, recently I've been thinking a lot about this. Like, I haven't traveled at all this year, and if you've been watching me for a while, you know that I am always moving around everywhere. I think this is the longest that I have not been on the road. A year. It's been a full year, because exactly a year ago I was almost exactly I was speaking in Texas, right? And then I flew here, I flew home, and then I moved to where I'm living at my top secret bunker in a mountain location where I am right now, right? And I haven't traveled since. And I was thinking about this the other day. I'm like, you know what? I need to get out of the house. I need to travel. It's been a long ass time. And so I think that a lot of you, maybe you literally need to travel or get out of the house, or maybe you just need to go do something. And, you know, that would be good. I do feel pretty good about this. It is a card of leadership. It is a card of success. It is a card of, you know, good things happening. So I like it. You have the Six of Swords. Six of Swords is a card of moving on to calmer shores. So there definitely could be some improvements coming in for you with the Six of Swords. I feel like you are moving on to calmer shores, literally, with the Six of Swords. So, you know, again, I think that there are just general improvements coming in for you with this card. I really don't feel much there on that Six of Swords. I thought I was going to get more. With the High Priestess, you have the Two of Wands. See, I think it's like you are a monkey, Gemini. It's like a monkey, you know, swings from a branch, and it's like reaching on to the other branch. That's what's popping into my head. For whatever reason, I feel like this card is saying no. The other branch is not going to appear, almost like the Fool card, right? The Fool, the step isn't going to appear until he takes a leap of faith. That's what's popping into my head with the Two of Wands, is that you're holding on to one thing, but you just need to let it go, because, you know, then the branch will appear in front of you. And that can definitely be scary, for sure, but I kind of get that feeling. That's really the energy I get off this card. It's not saying to me like regular Two of Wands energy. That kind of makes sense. So there could be a little bit of a risk that you're taking here. Yes, with the Two of Wands, you have the Five of Pentacles. I think that Gemini especially need to brainwash themselves into believing they can do something more. You just had Jupiter in your sign for 18 months, and now it's in Cancer. The thing about Jupiter is that it wants us to expand. It wants us to, you know, grow beyond our limitations. The Five of Pentacles is like all the limitations that you think about yourself. You know, it's calling attention to your weaknesses. So I definitely feel it's time for you to like focus on your strengths, for you to believe that you can do things, all that. I should have said it. You have the Judgment card with the Six of Swords. I knew at the beginning of the reading the Judgment card would come up. I just felt it. So I should have said it. But definitely some sort of calling. That Two of Wands, the Alien card, I'm telling you right now, you could be receiving communication from another world. Maybe not literally, but maybe for some of you. But for others, you could be, you know, it might be a good week for you to, speaking of mountain bunkers, it might be a good week for you to go sit in a cave and ignore the world, because, I don't know, there's like something about this reading that is saying to me, to you, that there's like either important communication or message that or like an important download that you're receiving this week that could be very beneficial. I don't even know what it's leading to, other than, I mean, we do have the World and the Three of Pentacles, which is very good. You know, these cards can definitely represent an accomplishment or an achievement. Next, in the area of messages from your future self, you have this Chaos and Conflict card and this Deep Knowing card. I think you need to trust your deep knowing, your inner knowingness here, Gemini, for sure. We're in a time of chaos. I've been talking about this for months, years, really. And, you know, I mean, I think it's obvious based off of what's going on in the world. And so, and, you know, I've been predicting this since before all this stuff happened. To me, it's very obvious, Neptune and Pisces, and, you know, Neptune is not in Pisces anymore. So I always say this, and people are always like, Neptune's not in Pisces anymore. I'm like, exactly. Number one, it will be retrograding back into Pisces. Number two, it's like the shit doesn't hit the fan until it leaves. So that's why. But, you know, I think for people who keep their head on straight, who pay attention, who don't get all, you know, too excited about what's going on, I think those are the people that are going to have the easiest time right now. You have the Two of Swords, the Queen of Wands, and the Eight of Cups here. The Two of Swords with you have the Two of Swords here with the Three of Pentacles, which is like a card of putting your work on display. And so the Two of Swords, it's like there's something that you need to trust intuitively here, I feel. Sorry about that, Gemini. My camera paused. But you have the Two of Swords. Again, Two of Swords is about seeing other ways of doing things. And where I was going with that, because we were talking about the Three of Pentacles as well, is that like part of me feels like you need to trust your intuition more on a project with that Three of Pentacles. So it's like, it's like sometimes I think we do actually know what to do, but we're afraid of being different. Again, the alien in your reading is really standing out to me. So, it's like maybe you have a good idea on like a project or, something that you're going to work on or something you're going to create. But you could be thinking it's like too unusual or, too different for it to work. But really, I think it would work really well. Like maybe it's time for you to be weird, or it's time for you to get weird. Maybe that's where this reading is going. You have the Queen of Wands. I feel like you're very attractive at this time, Gemini. So I would definitely be getting out there, getting attention, doing whatever you can to stand out, especially if you want love. I feel that, the Queen of Wands is my card of seduction. And you have the King of Wands as well. And these two are divine counterparts, of course. And they are both attached to the Four of Wands. We have the Four of Wands here and the Four of Wands here. And so you definitely could be attracting a very strong, passionate connection. Again, the King and Queen of Wands are very attracted to each other, which is good. And, obviously if there's, mutual attraction. You have the Eight of Cups. Again, I think we talked about this earlier about walking away from things that no longer serve you. And if not, it's probably because I've said it to everyone else this week. Oh, no, we definitely did because you have the Eight of Cups already. Again, I think that, a lot of people are just being asked to walk away from things that no longer serve them because of that full moon in Scorpio that we had, over a month ago. With the Two of Swords, you have the Ace of Swords. Yes, your truth is the only truth that matters. Literally, that full moon in Scorpio is all about that. I heard a lot of astrologers saying how difficult that full moon was. Kind of, but not really, because it's pretty freaking simple. If you live your truth, you are fine. And, that's what I would say there. I think the people that had a hard time with it were people who, again, weren't living their truth. And again, this is not a criticism. We all have to, go through these things sometimes because, that's how we know what the truth is if we, if we act like we don't, or if we think we don't and then we do, and then the universe has to show us, then, that's how we learn. But, that's kind of what I'm getting here on the Ace of Swords. I do also feel that there could be clearly some sort of big win or victory coming in for you because you have the World and the Four of Wands. These are very good cards for accomplishments and achievements. With the Queen of Wands, damn, you have the Sun. Very good, Gemini. This could be you getting a lot of attention. Again, Queen of Wands, the card of seduction. Doesn't matter what gender you are either. You could still be attracting people. You could be like a little light this week if you're trying to get attention or if you're looking for love. Definitely a very good reading for that. It's very good for showing your work off as well, Gemini, with the Three of Pentacles, which I'm pretty sure has been coming up for you recently. Three of Pentacles really says it's time to shine, with the Sun especially. But, Three of Pentacles, he's putting his work on display. And it's coming up in the good stuff. So, obviously that would be a good thing. With the Eight of Cups, you have the King of Cups. It could be like a fire sign or a water sign or a fiery water sign or a watery fire sign. I'm not sure, but whatever. Take it how it resonates. Just find a good person. I always tell people it's like, I have like the same 3 people leaving comments in my videos. I would never date a Gemini. I would never date a Virgo. It's like the same 3 people since I started my channel. They've literally been single for over 10 years, leaving the same comment. And it's like, well, the love of your life is probably a Gemini, or the love of your life is probably a Virgo. Not all sun signs are the same. I have so many people that tell me like, oh, every single XYZ is exactly the same. I know like 10 that aren't anything like that. So again, it's not true. It's like, yeah, maybe the low vibration version of those signs. It just means you're meeting low vibe people, right? So rant over, but could be whatever sign, doesn't matter. Next, in the area of the good stuff, you have this Freedom of Time card. It says, the freedom to do whatever you want with your time is one of the ultimate benchmarks of an abundant life. You are the master of your schedule. You have this Niche card. It says, with your unique experiences and fresh perspectives, you would do very well specializing in a niche. So yeah, some of you could be becoming a specialist. I do feel like there's good stuff about money in this reading, obviously. I mean, you start with the Three of Pentacles. You have the World and the Four of Wands. Three of Pentacles obviously says teamwork makes the dream work. It's an amazing card for putting your work on display. I definitely feel that would be important for you, Gemini, if you have been working on something. I think it's time to show it off or put it out into the world or whatever. I also think that, this could be you getting credit for work that you've already done. So if you've already been doing work, you could be getting like money or raise or promotion for the work that you've already done. You have the world, which is like an accomplishment or an achievement. So a lot of you could be standing out in the world at this time, which I think would be great for you. I really feel like you're getting a lot of attention, Gemini, which is great. This is also a great card for completion as well. So if you're wrapping anything up and like starting something new, I think it would be an amazing time for you to wrap things up and start new things, whatever, new projects, new ideas, or whatever. It's almost like a new Gemini here. I don't really feel this is newness, though. I mean, I do think it's new in the sense of ideas. It's like you're downloading information from like other planets or something. I don't know what's going on here, but it's like you're downloading these ideas that could be very futuristic, like innovative. They could just be innovative to your life, but whatever those things are, that's what I would be birthing. The world is a card of birth, so there you go. You have the Four of Wands again, so marriage, definitely we see a lot of marriage potential between you and a person if you want love. Whether you do or you don't, doesn't matter. The Four of Wands can also be a card of freedom, and you have this Freedom of Time card. So with the Four of Wands, we have to complete one thing and go to the other side of this portal so that we can have the freedom that we're looking for. So I think that it would be a good time to set yourself free from, whatever. With the Three of Pentacles, you have the Nine of Swords. Nine of Swords is like a never-ending nightmare, but it's coming up in the good stuff. So in the good stuff, the Nine of Swords can say you are finally releasing a never-ending nightmare, or you are moving past a never-ending nightmare, which obviously would be a good thing, and you could be letting something go. With the world, you have the Two of Swords and the Six of Cups. These two cards wanted to come out together. So the Six of Cups can be a gift from the universe. Usually the gift we receive from the Six of Cups is a turnaround, meaning we can be bumping up against an obstacle, and then when we get the Six of Cups, we are removing the obstacle. Two of Swords can represent like a new solution, but also trusting your intuition. You have the Two of Swords twice, and there's definitely something that you need to trust here, which we talked about with that Ace of Swords. With the world, you have the Tower. Number one, the Tower and the good stuff is a good thing. It can say that you're avoiding a Tower moment. Number two, you have the Judgment card. The Tower and the Judgment card, to me, is the most powerful combination in the tarot. It can represent like a major revelation or a major wake-up call or a big aha moment. So they're, again, I literally have been saying this entire time that you are downloading information like from source or whatever that is like critically important to your week. So there you go. You have this Lobster card. It says financial pinch. If anything, I feel like you're getting out of a financial pinch because you go from Five of Pentacles to the Ace of Swords. You have the Three of Pentacles here. And you have too many cards that would represent improvement. So I do feel a lot of you could actually be improving your finances here. You have this fan. It says romance, celebration, and party. So I think it's an amazing, it just looks like a joyful week. You basically have the sun twice. You have the sun in the Sedona Oracle deck. You have the sun in the tarot. It would be a great week for you to get out there, have fun, have a good time, meet new people, all that other stuff. You have this clouds card that says temporary problems. Yeah, I literally feel that some of you could be dealing with a problem and it is temporary, is what the card is saying. Like maybe you're wondering, like, am I going to have to deal with this problem forever? Is this ever going to go away? Yes, is the answer to that question. You have this Fox card. It says shrewdness and resourcefulness, especially in business. Yes, you don't have it in this reading, but I see the Seven of Swords a lot in readings, and I think we are definitely in a time where we all have to be, shrewd, resourceful, and we have to use our resources and things like that. You have this angel. It says spiritual guidance, protection from harm. Yes, you are protected at this time. So if you've been dealing with any issues or challenges, I feel like you are protected with this card. But this looks really good, Gemini. I love where this is going. So thank you for being here, and definitely enjoy your week.